Hey everyone, Mtashed here, and this is my final guide for the Leviathan raid. This final boss can take anywhere between about 12 and 17 minutes, depending how many phases you go through. This is a very difficult and very technical boss. It's very similar to the King's Fall raid in how much execution is required, but once you get the patterns down pat, it is manageable. So let's just jump right on into this. My biggest tip early on is try to punch as many things as you can in this phase. Also, if you're going to be teleported inside, which I'll talk about later, use your grenades here as well. You want to conserve ammo as much as you can because you're going to start running out in this this final boss. It's ridiculous. There are so many times where we got screwed because we didn't have ammo. So if you can punch something, you're safe, you have full health, do it. Don't waste your ammo. There are some runs where you end up getting a lot of drops and it's not a big deal, but there were a few times where we were absolutely starved. After killing these enemies, 4 scions are going to spawn on the 4 platforms around the room. On the sun, the dog, the chalice, and the sword or axe, whatever you want to call it. You need to kill these scions to proceed to the next part of the phase. They drop some nice heavy ammo a lot of the time, which is great. But there's 2 sections here I need to describe. The people that are inside and the people that are outside. I'm going to start with the people on the outside because that's what I did the most. After killing this scion, you're teleported outside and there are 3 portals back inside. So, 3 people outside, 3 people inside, you're split up once again. On the top of his forehead, a symbol is going to appear. In this one, I see the dog. However, Hovey and Manigator both see a different symbol. You need to communicate this to your team because the one that isn't shown is the scion inside that's going to need to die. I'm going to show you that part after. So, for example, I see Chalice, Hovey sees dog, Manigator sees those axes. That means that the sun, or the Sol scion, needs to be killed inside. If they don't, the little wall that's going to stop us up here won't be there. You fly off the edge and you wipe. So that scion needs to be killed. Also, these scions that are floating here, they need to be killed. From what we tested, it was always safer killing the scions on the ground than the floating ones because these guys can launch a grenade at you, send you in the air, and then you die. Afterwards, you focus on the floating scions, and then you need to keep on looking at his forehead. You gotta keep doing these callouts. Every person has a different one, and you need to tell your teammates inside so that these walls are generated. Now, I highly recommend watching this phase multiple times just to get the flow down. Watch our movements. We have this down to an almost science at this point. There's not much more you can change here to make it any better. So if you're having struggles here, just keep watching this section. Now you might be wondering, holy cow, what is that? He's going to shoot out a bunch of skulls from his mouth, and you need to do the best job you can at killing them, because every skull you kill gives you a damage modifier in the next part of the raid. I would say you would average 55, 57, even 60 when doing this section. If you're getting above that, you're doing fantastic. If you're getting below 55, you need to pick it up or you're not going to do enough damage to the boss. Now, you go through and you're going to make your way to the platforms that the scions spawn on. We like to do it counterclockwise. This might not be optimal, but this worked for us. Do damage for as long as you can, and as you can see in the corner, it says Force of Will. That's how many of the skulls we killed. If you fall off the platform, you won't do damage. He will also shoot you after a while of doing damage, so you need to rotate from platform to platform. If you all spread out, you'll waste all the platforms, and your damage phase is going to be nothing. You will not kill the boss in time. So all of you need to go on one platform, kill him, do as much damage as you can, and then rotate to the next one. Sometimes if you jump on top of each other, you get popped up into the air, which just happened there. I wasted almost this entire damage phase because I was up on top of my teammates. It's brutal. It sucks, but do the best you can to do damage. Now, if you do enough damage and you get a third of his health down, he's actually going to buckle over and he's going to expose his internal mechanics. That's right. This isn't actually Emperor Calus. This is a damn robot. So, his crit spot is now going to change to his chest. If you start shooting him and it says immune, just get off and start clearing ads because you can't do any more damage for that phase. In most cases, you can get a little bit extra damage in, but once you do 1/3 of his health, that's it. You're done. start clearing ads, and while I am using ammo here, I would once again recommend to switch to melees whenever you can. You can see I've only got 200 rounds in my auto rifle, 100 in my pulse. I'm really running out of ammo here. I don't have any heavy, and the more ammo you're wasting on these ads that you don't have to, the worse off you're gonna be. For the next part of this guide, I'm going to be watching my friend Jedi's footage, because he was a player that was on the inside while I was on the outside. After killing these Scions, we're going to teleport just like normal, but instead of staying outside like I do, Jedi is going to take one of the portals and go back inside. At this point, his job is to slay as much as he can and listen to our callouts. The players outside are going to be calling out the 3 symbols that they see. So, if we saw sun, dog, and axes, then the Chalice is the Scion that needs to be killed. From what we tested, from what we did, we had one guy that was 100% focused on the Scions, and the other people were doing all the slaying that they could. Now, you should all be killing things, but you really need to dedicate someone to killing those Scions, to be absolutely focused on it, because if they miss it by just 1 second, the players inside get blown off the edge and they die. So these Scions are imperative to your success. You need to dedicate to it, you need to listen to callouts, and the guys inside, please, make the communications easy on your inside players. If you call out the wrong symbol, you wipe. If they kill the wrong Scion, you wipe. You need to really articulate this clearly, one after another, which ones are on the inside on his forehead, so that your team inside can choose the right symbol or Scion to kill. It's not that bad once you get a rhythm down, but it's very daunting when you first start. So essentially, the people on the inside are repeatedly killing, listening to callouts, and slaying their Scions, and we will eventually teleport back into the room for the damage phase. However, before the people outside teleport back into the room, there's going to be a bright light coming from Calus. He's charging up, and if you don't shoot him here and break his shield or his wind-up, you all wipe. So you need to do as much damage as you can, stop him from charging up his attack, and you'll be okay. So, if you have an extra second or two, go grab some ammo and then make your way to the platform for the next damage phase. You just do this over and over again, and in our case, we did it after 4 rotations, not 3. Many teams were beating this in 3 rotations of damage phases, and it took us 4 to complete. But if you take too long, then unfortunately, there's some Colossus that spawn and make things much more difficult on you. So if you can beat it in 3 rotations, beat it in 3 rotations, or else it's going to make it very tough on your team inside. Now, for the final part, when you're approaching his last segment of health, when you think, we have enough damage, we're going to kill him, you need to make sure all of your guns are loaded. In our case, this worked out pretty nice that we left him with a sliver of health because we all had a ton of heavy ammo going into this final phase. So, when Emperor Calus's health is gone, he has one last phase, similar to the Oryx or Taken King raid. After you kill him, he's not dead, so keep shooting. Use your healing rifts, use your supers, whatever you can here to start damaging him, getting him to that point, and then you need to focus fire him, because he's going to do his charging, glowing attack, and if you don't kill him here, you wipe. It's over. That's how we failed multiple times. We just weren't paying attention. People started dying. It's going to get very hectic in here. But the second he starts glowing, focus fire. It seems his crit spot is in the stomach, and you need to do whatever you can to take him out here. This is it. The final hurrah. Do your damage. Shoot your guns. Take out your primary, your energy weapon, whatever it takes, and become a legend. That's right, baby. You're about to beat the Leviathan raid. Oh, yeah. Anyways, that's it. That's him. Emperor Calus is dead, and you are now a hero of the tower. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this guide. Share it with your friends who are stuck on this boss, and I really appreciate the support. Thank you so much. I will see you soon. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and that's it from me. Bye-bye.